Oh, shalom, my friends. Shalom, my enemies. This is your old pal, Rabbi Sol Solomon, of course, the founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. There's a laugh. That's the kind of laugh I want to get in my sermons and not just in bed from my wife. Ladies and gentlemen, this person in front of us is someone who doesn't know me, but who knows my great friend Dave very, very well. Because back when Dave met him, and we're talking about the late 1980s, if you can believe this, this person, MANUEL IGREJAS, was a press agent for the vaunted David Rothenberg firm. And he and a great guy named Terence Womble, Ashvatza, together they took Dave seriously as a critic. Let him into shows when other press agents wouldn't, became sort of semi-acquaintance, nice friends with him. And Dave has wondered all these years, whatever happened? He was a great press agent, and he had one major show that he helped turn into literally a worldwide phenomenon. And that show, well, we'll get to that. This is, but he's also a playwright. That's what he had been doing for quite a bit. And he has a book out, a brand new book of a book of short stories. He's written plays, but you have a book of short stories that is called, where the hell is it? Imaginary Boyfriends. Short stories by MANUEL IGREJAS. Manny, shalom to you.
Shalom to you, sir.
Thank you so much. So the first thing when we got on the camera, let's get the unpleasantness out of the way, which is basically what I do every morning after I get out of bed. But here's the thing: how are you feeling?
I've been better, but I'm recovering.
From what?
I had heart failure a couple of times. It was this year, in fact. So I'm getting better.
How did you just have trouble breathing? How did you know that you had heart trouble?
I couldn't breathe.
This is a bad thing. This is, yeah. But,
it's more important than you realize.
So were you at home? Were you just somewhere and you were walking?
I had more problems getting around and going places. And then one day I said, I got to go to the hospital. And then there I was. And I couldn't get out for months on end.
Months?
Going from one to another. I did meet the loveliest nurses at Columbia Presbyterian and hospitals around here, but I'd like to take a break from all that for now.
Absolutely, no, please, God willing. Did you have stents, or what did they do to your corpuscles?
No surgery. They were talking about open heart surgery and a heart replacement heart. I was a candidate for it, but they didn't. They decided not to. I'm just on medication.
All right, and Halavai, it's been 6 months since your last episode, your last procedure, and you're doing all right. But God willing, thank God, and you're looking good, Manny. So, enough with the health shit out of the way. What a year! It's been such a horrible year for everybody, and then you too. But getting better and happy. I know you're not Jewish, unfortunately, but Happy New Year to you. Happy. What are you? What were you raised?
Catholic Portuguese from Newark, New Jersey.
Catholic Portuguese. So, did you? How religious were you in your childhood versus, or do you even believe anything now?
I was an altar boy at Our Lady of Fatima Church, and I was voted most pious looking 3 years in a row.
and considering your proclivities, did any of the priests ever diddle you or anything like that?
No, and then we had one handsome one, and he was strictly above board. So I have no good stories in that regard.
Damn it! Oh, I've got rabbi stories up the wazoo. Up my wazoo, if I tell you. I still can't sit properly on a bicycle. But I don't even know what I'm saying. Let's get to the best and worst moments. First of all, tell everybody, if they don't know, what a press agent does. Because they may confuse it with advertising, or it is involved in marketing. But what did you do?
A press agent's job basically is to get his client in front of the media, get them interviews, make sure that people know about them, work the photo sessions, work video, should you be lucky enough to get it. So the job is to keep the client in front of the world through media as often as possible.
So we will get very shortly to your biggest, best, most famous, ka-ching client. But tell us some either wonderful stories or horror stories from your years having to rep shows and people.
Well, in the old days, it used to be when I first worked with Bailey Hunt and Maria Pucci, we did stuff via that machine. It was like a Gutenberg press that you cranked out press releases on, and you had to stencil it. No,
Was it a mimeograph? Was it one of those round with the ink?
You have to start from scratch because you have to do the stencil all over again.
Oh.
And a lot of people back in the day were rough. They didn't know about, you could treat your underlings any way you wanted because there was nothing to stop you. Unfortunately, I really hated it the first year and I quit. I was working on Broadway shows, Agnes of God, Night Mother, Crimes of the Heart, and I hated it. And I quit, and they looked at me like, what? You're quitting this job?
So did you quit because the people above you were treating you like garbage?
I was so depressed every day. It was like being in the subway all day long.
Oh. Well, that would depress the hell out of anybody. But did you like parts, or did you like going to opening nights? Did you like the red carpet thing? Did you, or all of it, just history?
Behind the scenes, cranking out press releases, doing stupid, boring shit. So I didn't get to do the glamorous stuff. So I left, and I got a job selling restaurant supplies for 6 years. I was very good at it.
Oh.
And my friend, David Rothenberg, called me one day after I had a fight with my restaurant supply boss. I went back to my desk, and David Rothenberg called me, who was my mentor, and said, hey, you want to come work with me? I said, yeah. And then I came back, and then the rest is history.
How long were you with the Rothenberg office? Roughly. I mean, years, decade, two.
Yeah.
How long?
Maybe a decade.
Now, and by the way, David Rothenberg is alive and well. He has a show, speaking of radio and podcasting things, on WBAI on Saturday mornings. He's been doing this for God knows how long. Still, and he's 90-something. God bless him. So, yay. And then you were working with him on shows like what?
And that was a way to do. I thought, oh, you can do PR this way too. I didn't know that you could. And we had fun. We laughed all day. We had worked with a guy named Terrence Womble, who we all loved each other, and we spent most of the day laughing. And we worked on interesting stuff like Tony and Tina's Wedding was our big hit at the time.
Oh.
And then we got a show called Mambo Mouth with John Leguizamo. And David and I went to see the first preview in the basement of the American Place Theater. And we thought, wow, this is really something. And next day we started calling people, and it became a thing. And now he's back. Johnny's back doing his show. And then fade out, fade in. We got the people from Blue Man Group approached us, and we thought, okay. So we got that job, and that turned out to be my life for the next 20-something years.
Was it all consumed? How many hours a week when you were repping? And you were on the whole staff, but you were kind of in charge of Blue Man.
Yeah.
Was it a 40-hour work week? Was it a 70-hour work week? Did you live, breathe Blue?
Yeah, I kind of lived and breathed Blue because they were so intense and so needy. They needed so much. They believed so hard that you just want to help them. So they always needed something, and I didn't fall in love with them, but we really bonded. Because I knew when it changed was one day someone had set up an interview for them at 21, the restaurant. No, the Four Seasons, the restaurant. I thought, and for them in costume, I thought, ugh. And it was a hot day, and the costume was really, really heavy and hot. And we took a subway because nobody had any money back then. And they were like flipping out of the cab because it's too hot and we can't. But it turns out the guy who ran the Four Seasons was a fan. So we had the lunch, and the photographer who was there to take the picture kept looking at them like, what? And she took a picture of them holding a glass in the air, which she could have taken in the basement. But that day I thought, my God, they need help. So my heart went out to them, and it kind of never came back. That was the way at the beginning.
Well, why did you, because they went on at the Astor Place Theater, and of course they go on in Vegas and places like, but you left a few years ago from repping them. How come?
2005.
I'm sorry, what?
I retired in 2005
Oh, five!
yes,
20 years ago? Why? Why?
because
Why?
I've been there so long, and there was, and they wanted to go more places. And I thought, I can't do this. I can't. I got to do something else. So I had been around a long enough time, and I'd set up the thing, and there were a lot of good people to fill in for me, to fill in the job that I had. So, and it was exciting. They were exciting to be around,
Oh,
and
absolutely. Yeah.
all the big places.
So
But
when you
getting away,
retired in, oh, sorry, when you
get,
retired in '05,
yeah.
did, were you retired completely from being a press agent or you just did other clients or what
No,
did you
I
do
did.
then?
I started getting other clients.
Ah, okay. You just needed a more stable, normal, like rep a show, it runs a month, and then on to the next and
Yeah,
normal it.
worked with institutions like the Morris Museum, which had a performance series, and peak performances at Montclair State University. I stayed in New Jersey more than
Oh,
going.
my heart, I know you need a heart. My heart goes out to you if you had to stay in New Jersey. That is an unfortunate thing for you there, but
I'm still here, I'm still.
you're still here. He's still here. By the way, we're talking with Manuel Igrejas. We will get, of course, to your writing as well. When did you become a playwright?
Um, I'm not sure. I used to be in a radio show when I was younger on WBAI. It was called Our Life Together Among the Works of Art, and I played the gay poet in it. It was about a bunch of roommates who lived on the Upper Left Side, and I wrote some of the episodes. I liked it. I liked writing theater stuff, and so then wrote a little play that for some reason, it got picked up. It got done. It wasn't good, but it got done, and I liked the experience of doing a play. And I
Sure.
did it with people from Blue Man Group. So that went well. So we thought, let's do something else. So I wrote another play, and then another little play, put a bunch of one acts together. We called it Shrinkage because it was all about the pursuit of mental health. We
Oh,
we
okay.
went to the
Yeah.
times. So I thought, well, I can get behind this. And then I started writing more plays because I loved the idea of producing. I loved working with those people. I loved producing, working with actors. It was my favorite thing that I'd done so far.
Hey, wait, how come you did, well, you were producing your own plays, but
Yeah.
there are press agents who have gone on, Jeffrey Richards most famously, to become actual, like, big name producers on and off Broadway. Was that ever of interest to you?
I didn't want to do all other things. I wanted to work with my friends, put my little shows up, do showcases, stuff like that for a month or whatever. If it ran longer, that'd be great. But I just like the experience of it. And also, my favorite part was going out for drinks afterwards with the cast and crew.
So, but you stopped writing plays apparently because of your health or other, or you just,
I just stopped writing plays for a moment, and I
oh,
started working on fiction because plays, you do a play, you have to it's got to get produced or nobody's going to read it, and that's it. So, and I won a couple of awards. I've gotten a couple of festivals. I figured out, as we often have to do, you want to get your work done, enter a festival, they give you the theater, you pay a nominal fee, and your work gets presented. And more than that, if you're looking for a miracle, it sometimes happens. But I was just in it for the experience. I loved working with those people. They were my friends. Some of them, and it started with people from Blue Man Group who were actors as well.
yeah. So let me ask you then, did you transition to short stories or were you also writing short stories?
I was
Going,
working in short stories the whole time, but theater was just so immediate. I got instant results. You rehearse, you start to see your work on its feet. You write a short story. But then I thought it's less pressure writing short stories. So I started. I had more of them. They started to pile up, so I just kept going.
and now you have a book called Imaginary Boyfriends. So can you give us, first of all, how do people get it?
It's on Amazon, and it's pretty much every place else. Every time I Google it, it pops up. But it's not being released until next Wednesday.
Wednesday, what, the date? What is it? Because this might be airing after that date. Hey, my payas is hurting me there. Okay, yeah. So it's October something.
Um, it's coming out, released on October 13th.
October. This is perfect time. Great. October 13th. Go on Amazon. Is there a Kindle edition? Is there a Spindle edition? Is there?
Yeah, I'm not really. I stopped paying attention to it right now. What I've been doing is I'm back in my old position of writing press releases about it. I thought, oh, I know how to do this. I know how to write a press release. It's nice to write them about myself. I know what I want to talk about. So I've been sending them out and getting some people responding. It's nice. I don't expect, I've been around, I'm a certain age. I don't expect miracles. I just don't want to be insulted, most importantly.
By the way, we're talking to the asshole Manny Igrejas. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So, question. So, what is your favorite? If you, I know they're all your children, but if you had to choose a favorite story in your new book, Imaginary Boyfriends, what would it be? What would it be about?
There's a story that leads, I think it leads off the book. It's called Hassan and Sylvia. It's was based on a play that I did that I loved. It's probably my favorite play that I've done. And it was done at the Fresh Fruit Festival. It won the Best Play Award. I loved working on it. So I decided to turn it into a story, and reliving it through as fiction was just as much fun for me. And I still love that story, and I don't know why. But it's based on something that really happened. Being in show business, I had to go to nightclubs sometimes. And I went to see a friend sing at a cheesy nightclub in Midtown. And I met this couple, this glamorous couple, this gorgeous older woman and this young Moroccan guy. And I thought, what the fuck? I mean, what the hell? And they kind of pursued me for a while, but I thought, now that's interesting. So the story's about them.
Oh, they pursued you in like a throuple kind of a thing?
Yeah, romantically.
Oh, speaking of which, if you don't mind my asking, are you coupled? Are you partnered? Have you been recently? What's
guy for 40 years?
I'm sorry, what?
I've been with the same partner for 40 years.
And still are.
Yeah.
Who is, how did you, is he also a showbiz type? How did you meet him? Who is he?
He's a hairdresser. I met him at a bar 40 years ago. He's the sweetest, cutest man in the whole world. And so it just works.
Mazel. Now, did you make it official? Did you do the ring on it? No. Mazel tov! Oh my God! Oh, so are you the top or you the bottom? I'm kidding. You don't have to answer this. You do not. Of course, he's the top because he's on our show and he was a wonderful press agent and he's a fine writer too.
All press agents are tops, by the way.
Uh-oh. Can you tell a story about? You can name names. You're not really in the biz anymore. Anybody you want to call out and say, "Oh my God"?
Because they might call me out, and I don't want that.
No, fair. Well, how about? Well, you heard the story Beck Lee told on the show 2 weeks ago on the 1000th episode of Dave's Gone By, right?
Right.
Beck Lee told the story about himself. Did you know this about the Joan Rivers thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, come on, that's a thing. That's Beck is a wonderful guy, but holy crap.
It wasn't the best. Joan Rivers, I was kind of afraid of her, and I came across her a few times on red carpet stuff. But she turned out to be a lovely woman, and she was a big Blue Man fan.
Oh, no, not anymore. She's now she's a worm and maggot fan. But no, I don't know what the hell that means. I'm just saying that the story he told was not against Joan Rivers at all.
No.
No, go back and listen. It's about something that he felt he had to do as a press agent, and then he realized I'm in this game too long.
Yeah, I appreciated that because when things go wrong in the business and people tell stories and some of them aren't true, and he just corrected that idea about her, and because I was afraid of her, I'd be on red carpets with her. I think.
But let me ask you, Matt, speaking of people that you should be afraid of, there's Dave, who is the producer and the host of this program. One of the things, your favorite memory, and you mentioned also your friend and coworker at the time, Terrence Womble, when you were working for the Rothenberg Agency and repping a show called Private Wars.
Those poor people.
In the audience, I mean, watching it. But please tell how you and Dave and Terrence bonded over Dave's review of
Well,
this show.
we were starting out, so we had pretty much took anything. And this well-considered play called Private Wars was being done by three guys who, I don't know where they came from. I don't know where they went, but please don't come back. And we invited this critic to come. He's the only one who reviewed it, I think. And he said his review was so horrifying that we quoted it for years and years afterward. And he talked about overacting, and he mentioned the actor's name. He said, "That means you, Adrian Basil." And we thought, wow. And it turns out Adrian Basil jumped off the top of the Empire State Building the next day.
Actually, here's the real truth. Dave pushed him. So never wanted to see him on a stage again. No, I'm sure he went on to do other roles and was fine. It was a bad show.
It wasn't
according to
the one
Dave.
we worked on, and as someone who's been on stage and has been bad, I was an actor too. I was in a play where someone said, "Every time you open your mouth, you create a black hole on stage." I thought, that's a good note.
Wow. All right.
Thank God you weren't there. It would have been in print.
Well, I have a black hole, but that's where I wear a diaper. So let me ask you this, Manny. On your resume, in your bio, it mentions that at some point you were working on the railroad. Were you driving spikes? What the hell were you doing?
I was the carpenter on the railroad, and at that point, the Erie-Lackawanna, which is now New Jersey Transit, was falling apart. They didn't have any money. Sometimes we couldn't get paid for a while. We were mostly just there to stop things from falling down, stations from falling on top.
This is good. This is a good thing. Yes.
And I did that for 5 years because I was young, I was married, I had a baby, and I could make money doing that.
Well, this is not with your husband, or did you adopt a baby? What do you mean?
No, I was married to a woman, and we had a baby.
Oh my gosh! Are you in touch with your child thing?
Unfortunately, he passed away 6 years ago. He had brain cancer. But
I'm
that's
sorry. Okay.
that's okay. But that's shockingly enough, that's when I started working on the book. I had a couple of stories, and I just thought, let me do this. Let me get my mind off what's going on. And so I worked on the book, and now I have.
Is it cathartic? Is it cathartic to write, or do you just sort of dwell and it pulls you out for a moment, but it really doesn't heal?
It beats sitting around thinking about the thing that's bothering you the most. And it's also moving something forward. You create situations, you create people that you never saw before, might have seen before. And it gave me something to do that was creative and took my mind off my problems, my sadness.
So you're not writing plays at the moment, but are you continuing to write short stories? Are you gathering for the next?
Yeah, I have a couple of stories in the works that I just don't know where they're going, but I always like to have a couple of projects where then I go back and dabble at them and think, let's try this. Because the wonderful thing about creative writing for me is I can do anything I want. Anybody can be anything.
Oh, yeah. I do rabbinical porn. Absolutely. Oh God, yeah. The rabbis, the Rebbitzin, and various. Oh, I gotta tell you, with a whip. We'll talk. But we also have. Manny is so regretting doing this interview right now. He is so like, what did I get myself into? You should have known. You should have remembered from all those years ago, Manny. But I'm kidding. So
sorry, I'm just having a heart palpitation right now. But carry on. I'm kidding.
You're kidding. Okay, you are kidding. But no kidding. Tell us like the best Blue Man story besides the 21 Club one. What's another great memory or terrible memory of repping Blue Man Group from their beginnings to when they were a sensation?
Well, recently in February, they had two final performances of the show at the Astor Place Theater because it was closing there. And I went to both of them, and it was so wonderful to be with the family again. And we really were, the thing that made it work, we had hard times, it wasn't always fun, but we really were a community, and I loved being with them again from at these final performances. I was treated like Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was really wonderful.
Because you were. When they were not even, I seen, or not I, Dave had seen them at Serious Fun Festival. And you knew there at Lincoln Center, you knew something was really up.
Yeah.
But then when they started at Aspen, it was still, who heard of them? Who knew? And then, thanks to you, that people knew. Yeah,
A combination of that, but I was definitely in the mix. I really felt that I worked hard and we got results.
Yes. And this is also something I take to bed with the missus every night. You work hard, and if I'm lucky, she'll drop her nail file. But I kid, because I'm Rabbi Sol. This is Manny Egregious. So Manny, I just have time for one more question with you, and to remind people, of course, to buy Imaginary Boyfriends on Amazon or wherever you can get the book. Do you have a website that people can also go to?
I do have a website. It's not up to date, but go there anyway because it's got pictures from my life.
What is the website? You got to tell people what the hell it is.
MannyEgregious.com. Shocking enough.
Manny Egregious. IGREJAN. I'm sorry, my glasses are. I should know this. Manny Egregious. IGREJAS.com. So Manny, can you tell us about the best and the worst, famous person that you ever got to either work with or meet, like a story of the worst rotter? Feel free to name names, especially if they're dead.
I'm kind of fame phobic. I'm afraid of famous people. I don't want to be around them because they always expect something. Can you get me a water? Can you get me? No, I'm not here for that. Who I wound up holding at the Blue Man opening in Vegas, Kevin Sorbo's. I walked him down the red carpet. He played Hercules or Superman or something. Well, a lovely person that we worked with, who was really a lovely woman, was Linda Lavin.
Oh, she was on this program, What a wonderful woman. Yes, Linda Lavin.
Sweetheart.
Beloved. Yes.
Beautiful too. And she just passed away, but she was.
She's less beautiful now, but still good bone structure. Anybody else? Any other memories of folks in all your years of a press agentering?
Well, not a lot of times you're just in. I don't say know them, but I'd be in the same room with famous people, and that was.
Who hasn't? I watched when Jeffrey Epstein. I won't talk about that, but kidding. Yes, neither of us will ever work in this town again. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been chatting with the delightful and progressively healthier Manuel Egregious. God willing. And by the way, love to your husband, a man who it seems like has made you happy for 40 years, which is a wonderful. I hope you're doing the same for him. Honestly.
I hope so. I can only think I hope so.
Well, health.
Well, congratulations to you on 70,000 episodes or so.
Something that feels like 70,000 sometimes, right. Let me tell you. I will also, of course, convey your best wishes to Dave, the host of the program, who really puts it. He just invites me on to be the gadfly and to tumble with lowlifes like you.
Contact with him anymore.
Yeah, no, it's best to avoid him. He's in Maryland now. He's a Southerner. It's weird. Anyway, Manny Egregious, to you. Please keep on egregiousing in an egregious way. Shalom to you, and once again, happy almost Sukkos.
Yes, thank you. I know what that means too. I worked for a trader for years, so I get it.
Shalom.
Thank you. Bye-bye.